or go to joepags.com. And now, it's Joe Pags.
Yes, indeed. Great radio stations across the land. iHeartRadio, joepags.com. Glad to have you along for the ride. It is the Joe Pags Show, coming your way on a Wednesday. Yep, hump day. Start the week in the bottom of the hill on a Monday morning. Get through Monday, get through Tuesday, get through Wednesday. After that, downhill to the weekend from here. Frigate? Dave? Dave. Girl. We are checking it out. Glad to have you along for the ride, along with Kerry Lockey, the entire crew. It's the Joe Pags Show. Lots coming your way. Lots to talk about. Looks like tax reform is on the way, but Kerry, with the current Congress, I don't trust anything. I don't think anything's in the bag.
I know. No, I don't think so either. You never know. You never know till they take that vote.
I think that it's in the bag once the president signs it. You know what I mean? Yep. I don't think you can guarantee anything else.
I don't believe it.
I honest to goodness don't think you can guarantee you can feel good about anything else. I think it's just dumb. So yeah, I'm extremely skeptical. Extremely skeptical. And that's not a good look on me, to be skeptical, to be honest with you.
It's not a good look at all.
You almost get because John McCain had no real answer when asked the question, why did you say no to getting rid of Obamacare? You promised you would do it. You ran on it. He had no answer. So, I mean, it's as if the politicians don't need to give any answers anymore. Well, why did you vote again? I mean, I don't think it's a good answer. I think we should honestly get something better than that. And if we don't, then they should be launched. Now, I do feel bad for John McCain's daughter Megan because I guess she was crying with Joe Biden today on The View or something. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I saw that, or I read about it, saw a little snippet of it.
I mean, is it just because they were talking about her father's cancer?
Yeah, because it's the same kind of cancer that Joe Biden's son Beau had.
Okay.
That he died of.
I got you. I gotta tell you, it's you feel bad for somebody, but at the same time, you have to feel comfortable with being able to say, I don't want the guy to die. I'd like to see John McCain live another 80 years. That'd be fine. But but when you walk out and make a decision like that, it's kind of weird. Because I don't understand. I don't understand why he would have made that decision. All right, we'll talk about the Deputy Attorney General. So many people say you need to fire Robert Mueller. And I guess the Deputy Attorney General has now come out and said, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. I'll give you that story, certainly. And I guess this back and forth with Sarah Huckabee Sanders and some of these reporters, this thing has hit a fever pitch. Have you heard about this? This April Ryan again is starting trouble?
No, I've heard about Acosta, but not April Ryan. What happened today?
What did Jimmy do this time? He did something else now?
Well, I think it was something about that CNN was saying that somehow she threatened them and they weren't going to back down and CNN wasn't going to back down. They were going to ask the tough questions. And let me
Sarah Huckabee Sanders threatened CNN?
Well, as far as, if you want to be in here, you want to be able to ask a question, you got to be nice about it. And some reporter at CNN took that as they're threatening us and they can't do that and we're still going to ask our questions.
So why can't they be nice?
I don't know.
I think they should be nice, shouldn't they? I mean, why is that asking too much? Be nice. It's very simple.
You should be nice, yes.
Yeah, and if they wanted
she threatened to withdraw reporter access if Jim Acosta shouted a question at the president.
Well, yeah, she can do that if somebody's disruptive. Freedom of the press is like any other freedom. There are limitations on it if you act like an idiot. Jim Acosta got to realize that he's been acting like an idiot for a long time, for a very long time. So yeah, I mean, I'm not impressed with him crying, victimhood again. He's not being bullied. If anything, CNN have been the bullies for the past year or so. And we outlined that just the other day with all those stories, those 8 stories that they've gotten dead wrong. Absolutely wrong. Here's the story. Now, the people have been saying, can the president fire special counsel Robert Mueller? What do you think the answer is to that, Carrie? Yes or no?
He can, but I don't think he should.
Very, very good answer. Very smart answer. You're a smart person. Of course he can.
Mm-hmm.
The Department of Justice, the Attorney General, the second in command, actually, because the Attorney General, like an idiot, recused himself, actually appointed this guy, Robert Mueller. The Department of Justice is in the executive branch. They work for the President of the United States. The President can hire or fire anybody he wants in that executive branch. In other words, Robert Mueller, quite literally, although he's allegedly investigating the President can fire the investigator. No doubt. Just like he fired the FBI director, he could fire the special counselor. He should certainly be firing the second in command, Rothenstein. I don't know why he hasn't, but he should, and he could. But when asked about this, Rod Rosenstein today, he said, there's no cause to fire Mueller. This is from Morgan Chalfant. It just sounds abrupt, doesn't it?
Chalfant.
Or in French it would be Morgan
Fine name.
Chalfant.
Chalfant. Oh, I like that much better.
Morgan
Say
Chalfant.
that way. Oui.
Pew pew. All right, it's Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein said Wednesday, some would call that today, that he has seen no good cause to fire Robert Mueller from his role as special counsel in the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Rosenstein, is it Rosenstein? I thought it was Rothenstein. It's Rosenstein? Okay. Faced tough questions
from Stein, actually.
Oh, is it Stein, too? I'm just getting the whole thing wrong, really?
That's what I've heard.
I keep you around. You should be reading this stuff.
Stein.
Rosenstein or Steen, whatever, faced tough questions from Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee today amid revelations that FBI officials on Mueller's team had exhibited political bias. President Trump's allies have seized on the reports to discredit the investigation. Rosenstein Stein on Wednesday today defended the special counsel, telling ranking member Gerald Nadler, Democrat from New York, that he has seen no good cause to fire Mueller. The Deputy Attorney General, who is overseeing the Russia probe after Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself, told lawmakers that Mueller had taken the appropriate action by firing an FBI agent on the investigation over anti-Trump text messages he'd sent a colleague during the campaign. Colleague? I thought it was his mistress.
So did I.
Everybody's been reporting. The Hill's calling the person a colleague?
A colleague.
Okay. Quote, have you seen good cause to fire special counsel Mueller, Nadler asked Rosenstein, or Stein. No, Rosenstein Stein replied. Later, when asked what he would do if he were directed to fire Mueller, Rosenstein Stein replied, I would follow the regulation. If there were good cause, I would act. If there were no good cause, I would not. The Deputy Attorney General then repeated that he had not seen good cause to fire Mueller. Later, Rosenstein Stein spoke highly of Mueller when asked to explain the characteristics that qualified him to be appointed special counsel. Based upon his reputation, his service, his patriotism, and his experience with the department and the FBI, I believe he was an ideal choice for this task, Rosenstein Stein said in response to Representative Steve Cohen, a Democrat from Tennessee. So for some reason, the Hill decided that they would only report a couple of Democrats' questions. Is that really? Is that right? No. So I don't see any reason why this investigation would continue after finding out. What are there, 3 or 4 people now that we know were staunch Hillary Clinton supporters that were involved in questioning but not really questioning her on the July 4th weekend, and heavily involved in exonerating her after it was clear she broke the statute. Same people are now involved in the investigation into Donald Trump, whom they hate. And these text messages are like, he's a freaking moron. Would Cruz be any better? I'm not so sure. Hillary's just got to win. She's got to win. When you've got people like that who are the ones who are investigating wrongdoing by the one they love, Hillary Clinton, and wrongdoing by the one they hate, Donald Trump, I mean, it's quite clear how it's going to come out. No, I don't think they can be impartial when they're that open about their support for one candidate over the other. So if you don't want to fire Mueller, what Rosenstein should do, and I think it's Steen, I don't know, it's Weinstein, I don't know. Some people are still saying Weinstein.
Really? No.
There's no doubt it's Weinstein, right?
I thought it was Rosenstein.
Could be right.
The guy you're talking about.
You could be right.
But
I'm not an expert on the Stein thing. I got to be honest. I think it's kind of up to the person whose name it is. I think they're just making it up. Yeah. I had a big ass argument with a reporter in Lansing 20 years ago or something about a guy named Larry Campbell. And she insisted it was Camp Bell.
Camp Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Now listen to me. We have 15
Alrighty.
stations in Michigan, and they're listening right now, and they're all yelling at the radio, it is Camp Bell. I kid you
Really?
not.
Wow. I went,
In mid-Michigan,
Campbell,
Campbell is Camp Bell. And boy, it was an argument. It was on.
I bet it was. Camp Bell.
I remember the guy's name because of that argument. Larry Campbell. And I'm telling you,
Okay.
I'm like, what is it? Camp Bell soup
Campbell's
is good?
It's like Camp Bell
Come on,
soup.
dude.
Campbell soup.
But I was the idiot.
All
Like everybody
right.
else in Michigan was like, yeah, what are you, stupid? I'm
Hello.
like, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Camp Bell.
But this was not far from the station where we also said Buena Vista.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah. The name of the city,
Buena Vista.
was
Vista?
Buena Vista, but we would say Buena Vista. And if you said it wrong, you sound like you weren't even from there. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Should the president or should Rosenstein or should Jeff Sessions get rid of Robert Mueller or at least censure or put some sort, I don't know how you would do it, suspend the investigation? I mean, should something be done? And at the same time, Carrie, we're hearing that the White House is saying that they think this investigation is almost over.
I know.
Which they would know because, as I said, the investigator, the special counsel, actually works for the president. So it's all very interesting to me. What are your thoughts? 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Stay here.
This is the Joe Pags Show.
All right, great to have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks. The Joe Pag Show. A flurry of activity when it comes to the allegations of sexual assault, sexual misconduct. You seeing all this unfold today?
Mm-hmm. I certainly have.
I mean, we saw the Selma Hayek deal. She did an op-ed, and then, of course, she had to attack Trump at the end of it for no reason. But also Russell Simmons, Def Comedy Jam. Yeah. That's what he's from, right? And Def something Records or somebody. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
the record company.
Yeah, he's the mogul. He's the record company mogul. But also it was Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam back like 20 years ago, wasn't it? I think so. They did something on HBO,
I don't know about that.
but they had young comics come on. This guy's like a billionaire. Russell Simmons accused of rape by 3 women. Mm-hmm. I mean, what the?
I know. Every day it's somebody new. At least one person.
Well, today it's like
Larry King
it's at least 2. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, what was the Larry King thing? He was sexually harassing people, or did he do something worse allegedly?
No, I think that at one point he was taking a picture with somebody and he squeezed her backside so hard that it left a bruise. And then either that he tried to go up someone's blouse or down a skirt. There were 2 different accusations about him.
What is the story with the taking of the pictures?
I don't know. I think they can get away with it.
I've never thought to myself, we're taking a picture, let me grab a handful of ass.
I know.
It's never dawned on me.
I know. Dustin Hoffman's another one. You know, there was that picture of him taking a picture with his the actress he was working with, and
he's cupping the breast, right?
Yeah.
So men think pictures are an opportunity to grab a body part.
Some men, yeah.
I'm not a sexual assaulter nor abuser, never will be, never have been. But if I were a scummy person like these guys, wouldn't you not do it on camera?
Yes. I mean, what makes you think that you're not going to get caught? That somebody's not finally going to get that picture?
What's the big deal? It's just Al Franken. What's the big deal? It's just Dustin Hoffman. He could grab some rear end. What's the issue?
No, they can't.
Music mogul Russell Simmons is accused of rape by 3 women. Mr. Simmons, a powerful gatekeeper in the entertainment and media worlds, damaged careers and self-confidence with his pattern of sexual assault and harassment, the women say. Written by Joe Coscarelli and Melina Ryzik, I think. All right, this is from Today. In 1995, Drew Dixon was working her dream career as an executive at Def Jam Recordings, helping to oversee a chart-topping album and a ubiquitous single by Method Man and Mary J. Blige. But as her star rose, Ms. Dixon, then 24, was spiraling into depression, she said, because of prolonged and aggressive sexual harassment by her direct supervisor, Russell Simmons, the rap mogul and co-founder of the label. On work calls, he would talk graphically about how she aroused him. At a staff meeting, he asked her to sit on his lap. He regularly exposed his something part to her. Late that year, Mr. Simmons raped her in his downtown Manhattan apartment, Ms. Dixon said. She quit Def Jam soon after. I was broken, she said. In recent interviews, 4 women spoke on the record about a pattern of violent sexual behavior by Mr. Simmons, disclosing incidents from 1988 to 2014. 3 of the women say that he raped them. In each case, numerous friends and associates said they were told of the incidents at the time. The women said they were inspired to come forward in the aftermath of the accusations against Harvey Weinstein, as victim stories have been newly elevated and more often believed. I go back to what I said before, and this has never been never been who I am or was or want to be. But if you got $1 billion and you're running a record company, I would think that you would be found attractive by enough people that you didn't have to go around, allegedly raping people.
Forcing yourself.
Right. You know what I mean? We've all said, look, there's a viral video out there where a guy is asking a girl for her phone number. A man is asking a woman for her phone number. She says, "Yeah, no, I don't think so." Yeah, no. Yeah, and then about 30 seconds later, he gets into a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. And she walks up and says, hey, I didn't know this is your car. How are you?
I just saw that.
Right?
Yeah, I just saw that on Facebook.
And it was real.
Yep.
It wasn't acted. It was real. And And I'm not here to denigrate her, although that is certainly gold digging, but whatever. You want to live that way, you live that way. You're a free, liberated person. But what my point is very simple. You can probably find plenty of women that want to spend time with you because of you own a record company or fancy cars or a big house. Now, they might not be the top quality women. I'm not going to argue that. But what is it about these violent assaulters? And again, this is just accused now. I don't know that they did it or not. But what is it about, in general, these violent assaulters? Do they say, I can't have her, so therefore I must force myself?
No, I don't know if it's about the power that they think they have over these women. I don't know. Same thing with that chef, Mario Batali.
Yeah, I don't even know what the accusations are against him. Same sort of thing?
Yes, yeah.
And now Tavis Smiley. You see this? Tavis Smiley also being accused.
No, I didn't see that one.
Tavis Smiley is the guy from PBS, right? He had the show on PBS?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and here it is. PBS suspends Tavis Smiley following sexual misconduct investigation. Exclusive from Variety.com. It's like anybody and everybody who's a man who has power or has had power is using it. I mean,
disgusting.
Are they really run around by their hormones or by their power trip? I mean, I don't understand what it is, and I explained this before. The challenge is to meet somebody that you really like and who really likes you back and wants to do that with you. I would think that's got to be so much more gratifying than deciding to take it because you think you're in a position to do so.
Exactly.
And it just feels like the tip of the iceberg here. And it's going to get to the point to where it's almost so commonplace that serious allegations might not be taken as seriously. I hope it doesn't get there. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. What do you think about all these allegations coming out? I mean, that's the question for those of you calling in. What do you think about all these allegations? Are they all generally true? Are half of them true and half untrue? Do you have no idea anymore who's telling the truth about this stuff? We'll talk to you about it when we come back. Stay here.
This is the Joe Pags Show.
Hey, great to have you. The Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations all over. iHeartRadio, JoePags.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. It's all right there. You know, I want to circle back to Roy Moore and Doug Jones for a second. What do you think Doug Jones does when he gets there? And we have plenty of people listening in Alabama. What do you think he does when he gets there? You know damn well he's not going to go there, and he's not going to be pro your agenda. The people of Alabama overwhelmingly are against abortion. Overwhelmingly are against illegal immigration. I mean, they're overwhelmingly against larger government. So you have to wonder, what exactly are they going to get for their money now? They're sending this guy to Washington, supposed to represent the state that he disagrees with most of the state. No, he doesn't. Most of the state voted for him. No, they didn't. Huge chunks of people stayed home and didn't vote at all. A lot of people vote write-in. Carrie, who do you think is going to get the most write-in votes in Alabama?
I don't know. Maybe Luther Strange, probably.
I think he probably will. I think you're probably right about that. And, it's just dumb. Because if you take whatever write-in votes are for a Republican, add those to what Roy Moore would have gotten, and he probably wins. But he didn't win. I'm not here to say that Doug Jones didn't win. He won. But what does he do when he gets to the Senate now? He can't get in line and vote like Chuck Schumer. He will be out. Just gone. Won't last very long at all. Let me go to the phone lines. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Mike is in Corpus Christi. Hi, Mike. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, sir? I love your show.
Thank you
very much for being on here down here in Corpus. My question is like, I don't understand why all these people get so many publicity. All these women get this publicity 20 years later, and when we have, for sexual assault. I mean, if we all got a sexual assault case against us because we pet a girl on the butt, we'd all be in jail because they would do the same thing, and we'd all be in the same area. Also, you got George Soros out there paying people to go out there and give us publicity on what his agenda is on anything that's against Trump. I just don't understand, where do we put an end to this if there's no liable reason or disbelief that we can actually say. I mean, if you get 19 girls that they all kissed them on the lips, they were 19 years old. Well, what if I had 5 of them that said different? How can we prove it if we have nobody else that's there? Do we take these women at their real word, or are they taking a paycheck somewhere else?
Well, I think that it's easy for people to lie. So I don't say that everybody who's making an allegation is telling the truth. I don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. I mean, it's pretty easy when you listen to their stories. Some of them have holes in them. But I want to rewind to something that you said, Mike. Are you suggesting that every man walks around smacking women on the rear end? Because I don't.
I'm not saying you don't, but let's say you have a good friend of yours, and you're patting them on the back, and let's say you slip, and I mean, something happens. But can everything be just associated with sexual assault just because they're a female and you're a male? I mean, I'm not one of those people. I give bonuses to people who do a great job.
Yeah.
And sometimes I make a mistake. You know what? We all do. We're human beings. But it doesn't actually mean that I want to have sex with you because I do that.
Okay, well, listen, Mike, do me a favor, and let's make sure you never pat me on the rear end. Then I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. Carrie, you and I have been friends a long time. I've never slipped. I'm
No,
pretty much. And look,
no.
I love Mike like a brother. I'm not trying to treat him like crap, but that sounded silly to me. I've never gone in for the
weird.
pat on the back and accidentally grabbed the butt. Because these aren't just I accidentally rubbed against you as I was going to my plane or theater seat. This is somebody taking a picture, grabbing some ass. So I'm not really sure how that's even comparable. But and then he said, well, we all make mistakes. Well, if you grabbed her rear end, it's not a mistake. I'm going to suggest, unless you've got some sort of a nerve or muscular disorder that stops you from being able to control where your hand goes, I'm pretty sure that you have it in, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you have control of where that hand's going. I'm pretty sure of that.
I think you're right.
By the way, this is not really a left versus right issue, and it shouldn't be. I mean, sexual assault shouldn't be. But there's a Democrat lawmaker, Representative Marcy Kaptur. Have you heard about this?
No.
This is what she had to say. Women's clothing, an invitation to harassment. Are we really going there again? Are we gonna keep on going there?
I guess so. Wow.
Democratic lawmaker, women's clothing, an invitation to harassment. This is from Heather Cagle over at Politico.com. A female Democratic House member shocked fellow lawmakers Wednesday, some would call that today, when she said that revealing clothing that some members and staffers wear is an invitation to sexual harassment. Representative Marcy Kaptur, Democrat, Ohio, made the comments during a private Democratic caucus meeting Wednesday, some again, we call it today, to discuss sexual harassment issues, according to two Democratic sources in the room. Quote, I saw a member yesterday with her cleavage so deep. How deep was it? No, it's actually not. It was down to the floor, Kaptur said. Now listen, I'm a 51-year-old man. I've seen some cleavage in my life. I've never seen cleavage to the floor. I don't know that I could picture cleavage to the floor, Carrie.
Is that possible?
I don't know. I think that you might want to see a doctor if your cleavage is hitting the floor.
Yeah, you could have a problem.
Doctor? If I could just get a minute. Got a cleavage problem here. Yeah. Continue to say, and what I've seen, it's really an invitation. The comments left many others in the room stunned, the sources said. Kaptur said women on Capitol Hill should have to abide by a stricter dress code like those adopted by the military or corporations. Quote, maybe I'll get booed for saying this, but many companies in the military have a dress code, she said. I've been appalled at some of the dress of members and staff. Men have to wear ties and suits. In a statement to Politico later Wednesday, Kaptur said she never meant to suggest that women are to blame for harassment, the harassment they experience. Quote, when I was first elected to Congress, my office and I became a refuge for female staffers who had been mistreated by their bosses, some of them in tears many days. It's something I carry with me to this day and something I bring up during our caucus meeting, she said. Under no circumstances is it the victim's fault if they're harassed in any way? I shared the stories from my time here in the context of the Me Too legislation, how we can elevate the decorum and the dress code to protect women from what is a pervasive problem here and in society at large. Two Democratic sources said the members and staffers present in the meeting were so surprised that no one knew what to say. Quote, nearly everyone in the room's mouths were wide open, aghast, one of the sources said, while fixing her cleavage. Carrie, it could have been to the floor. We don't know. We were not in there.
I have a hard time believing that, but okay, it's true. I wasn't.
Kaptur, who's 71, has served in Congress since 1983. She's the longest-serving member of the Ohio delegation, he said, representing a northern district that borders Lake Erie. The dress code for female members, staffers, and reporters has been relaxed in recent months after Ryan moved to modernize the rules following outcry about women not being able to wear sleeveless dresses in and around the House chambers. Both women and men are still expected to dress professionally, but the sergeant at arms isn't as strict in enforcing rules about women's shoulders being covered when present in the House chamber or Speaker's lobby. Kaptur's comments came as Congress continues to reckon with a raft of sexual harassment allegations within its ranks. 3 members, Senator Al Franken, Democrat Minnesota, Representatives John Conyers, Democrat Michigan, and Trent Franks, Republican Arizona, resigned last week over sexual misconduct allegations. Representative Ruben Kilhune has, Democrat Nevada, has never been accused of sexual harassment, but has rebuffed calls from House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, Democrat California, and others to step down. And Republican Roy Moore lost the Alabama Senate race, the first time a Democrat won the Senate seat there in 25 years, after being dogged by allegations he sexually pursued teenagers well in his 30s. Okay. Let's talk about the dress code. What she said was stupid. Same level of stupidity as Gabby Douglas when she said it a couple of weeks ago. You know, the word conflate is used so often now on television, as I hate that, but I'm going to use it anyway. Don't conflate unmodest dress with causing sexual assault, because that alleges that men have no self-control, and it's not true. We have self-control. We're human. We're not animals. We don't involuntarily jump on somebody who has, a hormone that attracts us in some certain sensory way. Had she not attached it to sexual assault or sexual harassment, follow me here, Carrie, I don't think she would have taken any heat at all.
Right, I'm with you so far, yeah.
Had she said, listen, we've got interns here, pages here. They're 19, 20, 21, 25 years old. They're young. They're millennial. They're proud of their bodies. And frankly, they're showing them off too much. Now, nobody gets to touch anybody inappropriately. Nobody gets to sexually harass or assault somebody. But I think there's a level of protocol here and decorum that we need to hold up in the House of Representatives. I think that the dress code has been relaxed too much. Now, I remember when I was at Atlantic High School, 1980 or 81, something like that, long time ago. And one of our drum majors was this beautiful young woman who was older than I was at the time. I was 14 or 15. She must have been, I think she was way older. She was like 16. I was like, whoa.
An older woman.
And she regularly would wear shorts because in Florida, it's hot. This is South Florida. Would wear shorts to our summer band camp or our summer band rehearsals and just a bikini top. And I'll never forget, my band director actually pulled her aside and said, you can't wear this. It's inappropriate. I know we're outside. I know it's South Florida, but we're not at the beach. You're going to have to put something more than that on. Now, if he would have said, you have to put something more on that on or else you're going to get attacked and assaulted. I think that at that point, you're making a mistake. But to say, here's the dress code, here's what's appropriate, here's what's not appropriate, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I would agree with it. But I don't want to walk around acting like men can't control themselves if they see cleavage to the floor, which, by the way, I just don't think that sounds attractive, cleavage to the floor. I'm just going to...
Can't imagine it would be.
I'm just going to put it out there. When you get home, ask Mario if he would find that attractive.
I will.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But having said all of that, I get where she's coming from. Really, really, really dumb to put those two topics together. If it's inappropriate and unmodest or immodest for these young women to walk around the House chambers like that, then she has every right to voice her opinion and ask that the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, does something else and says, we got to adhere a little bit better than we are right now. What your thoughts are on that? 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Carrie, I'm getting from you that you actually agree with me on this.
I do agree with you. Yes, I do. You're following the dress code. I get that. And leave it at that. But like what you said, don't jump to conclusions that either men can't control themselves because of what we wear or because of what we wear, we are automatically, that means we're going to get assaulted in some way.
Right. All right, we'll see what the people think. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Stay here.
You're listening to Joe Pags.
Oh, yeah. Glad to have you. 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. You know, I'm going to give a little inside baseball. I think that people like the inside baseball.
Mm-hmm. I think they do.
Karina sends me some story ideas in the morning. Carrie sends me story ideas through the day and closer to the show. I already have the story ideas that I already kind of know where I want to go with it. I mean, obviously we're going to do a lot of Alabama today. Sam now, since she's been helping out too as a producer, booker, assistant, whatever. I mean, she does everything. A photographer. Sends me some story ideas. I just want to make sure that I have too many stories for the show so that I have really the cream of the crop I can grab from. Carrie, how long have you been sending me stories, do you think?
Oh, maybe a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years
probably?
maybe. Year and a half, 2 years, something like that. How often have you ever sent me the same story twice?
Never.
Until
I want to make sure
until
you have it.
I
Until
saw
today.
it. I told you before
Wanna
the
make
show it's
sure
not
you got it.
it's not an important story. Look,
Well, it is
here's
to
a list
me.
of the stories. Here are the important ones. This one is not even in this story. To me, I mean, if you want a visual, it's like
I'm
cleavage
just
to the
giving you a
ground.
hard time.
I think it's cleavage to the ground is what the story is.
Come on.
That's how
No,
low in the
it's
totem pole this
dare
story
you.
is. We'll see if
No.
we have time. I'm not sure that we will.
Okay.
I cannot believe you sent it to me twice now. And then I said, stop it. And you said, it's what the people are talking about. No, they're not.
True.
Oh,
My
nobody's
people are
talking about
it.
this. Hair Club for Men is talking about this. That's about it.
Oh.
What?
No, don't even go there.
Is his
Don't
wig
even go there.
going to go into the Hall of Fame too or not?
No, he does not wear a wig.
Mark is in
Sure of it.
Michigan. Mark, what's going on? Hi.
What's happening, Joe?
Living the dream, my friend. Let's go.
About this, all these sexual creeps out there. I'm willing to bet you anything you want to bet that it's like 95% of these guys were like hammered when they were doing these things. And if you want to clear the swamp, how about we drug test Congress? Have them drop some tests and see how quickly the swamp gets cleared.
All right, gotcha. Sounds good. So he's saying that they were all drunk when they were sexually assaulting people, and we should drug test Congress. You know, Carrie, I think your story was more interesting than that. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll actually.
Well, it is. Really?
Wait, let me stop you. Karina, are you going to use this story in your pop culture or not?
I was going to use it, but I have another one as well.
Okay, so should I let Carrie do this or not? Because you know that she's dying to do it.
I think you have to let Carrie do
No,
it.
I have to. Okay, go ahead. I have to.
Yeah.
All right, from the New York Times, can 1 million Bon Jovi fans
We're out of
possibly be
time.
wrong?
Yeah, look at that. We're just
come
about.
on. Well,
All
anyway,
right.
they're being inducted in the 2018 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They also won the fan vote. They got over 1 million votes.
How many of those votes were from you?
None, actually. I did
So
not
I was
vote.
talking over her. I apologize. Tell the people who's going to go into the Hall of Fame now.
Well, it's Bon Jovi. It is Nina Simone. We have the Cars, Dire Straits.
That isn't why you were telling me
and-
about it. It was only Bon Jovi. And you know what? I just
Bon
got
Jovi.
this is late.
Yeah.
This is right off the wire. And I don't know if you heard this.
What?
It turns
What?
out every member of Bon Jovi except for John is going to be inducted. I think it's crazy. That's sick. I'm
It's
mad
not
about
true.
that. I'm going to do a topic about that
I
tomorrow.
bet.
Listen,
Yeah,
they actually have a
yeah.
picture. He's outside the Hall of Fame while like Richie and everybody else are inside.
No, stop it.
I'm telling you. He tried to go in
Hall of
there and they
Fame?
said, Sorry, real hair only.
2018.
All right, let's do some
Yeah,
actual
okay.
pop culture now. Bye. So, Karina, you had that one all ready to go, huh? Because you didn't think I was going to let her do it.
Yeah, because I saw people tweeting about it on.
See, I told you they were talking about
and
it.
tagging Carrie in there.
The people.
Okay, so this one's about LeAngelo Ball and LeVar Ball. They were on a radio show this morning.
Okay.
And I guess LeAngelo, he's the one that used to be at UCLA.
Right.
He said that he didn't really mean the apology he gave, that UCLA kind of made him apologize to President Trump, or thank President Trump, I'm sorry. And so that's the only reason he said it, but he didn't really think that he did anything.
He didn't think he did anything when he shoplifted in China, or he didn't think the president did
Right.
anything?
He didn't think the president was the reason
on,
that
man.
he was allowed to come back, yeah.
All right, one quick question because you're such a Spurs fan. Kawhi Leonard is back. How good do you feel about that?
Amazing. I mean, did you see him last night? 13 points?
I thought he played pretty well last night in like 14 minutes. It was amazing. All right, we got to get out of here. For Karina, for Carrie, Polo's off, so Paul's in. For Sam, Joe Pags. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye.
Joe Pags.
Clear.
All right, great job, brother. Hey, it sounded better tonight. Maybe when you see Jason tomorrow, if you can ask him to turn up the volume on that ISDN box a little bit, or turn up the volume in the master if there is one,
Gotcha. No problem.
But, I mean, the actual audio quality, pretty darn good tonight.
Oh, sounds good.